So the Halifax explosion that happened on December 6th, 1917 was a pivotal event, obviously, in the history of Canada with its deadliest disaster. There were just about 2,000 people who died that morning, and in subsequent days, 9,000 some injured and over 25,000 either homeless or homes that were damaged. But for the Red Cross itself, it was a really significant event in terms of how we respond to disasters. It was the first time the Canadian Red Cross had ever responded to a domestic disaster. Up until that morning, the role of the Red Cross really was around supporting the war efforts, but that all changed the morning of December 6th. Our local Red Cross volunteers very quickly rallied to do a couple of really important functions. One was they became essentially the logistics committee for the medical relief effort. They formed a committee of 34 volunteers and 2 leaders, and twice a day for days on end, they went around to 62 locations in Halifax that were either existing hospitals and clinics or temporary facilities that were set up, and they resupplied them twice daily. Another key role for the Canadian Red Cross at the time was fundraising and providing donations of clothing and food and other supplies that came from every part of the country. Canadian Red Cross at that time did not have any experience in managing or responding to large-scale domestic disasters, but the American Red Cross did, because they had responded in years leading up to that time to events like the San Francisco earthquake that killed several thousand people. And in Massachusetts, there have been massive fires that destroyed 16,000 homes in Chelsea and in Salem in just a couple of years before the Halifax explosion. So they had an expert in disaster response and recovery named John Moores, who was on the first train that they sent from Boston to Halifax, along with other disaster responders.